Mhm.
Hello and welcome to Tuesday night, I believe. Hope everybody is okay, and we will be doing a session 0 for Scraplands tonight. So let's see whether our tech is still holding out. We've had a few technical issues. I'm hearing a little bit of banging on the audio from somebody there. I don't know who it
No,
is.
it's just me.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just my
Uh,
chair.
If you've got a sort of push to talk or something like that, that might stop that from happening. Anyway, welcome everybody. Hope everybody is okay. As sound is Tuesday night, and we are about to delve deep into Scraplands and generate our characters for our episode 1. Untold Chronicles Scraplands. First thing we want to do is introduce the players as we've done so far. I'm going to do it as I normally do with people who connected first. So, Wizard Stuff, thank you very much for volunteering to take part. If you want to do a quick introduction, please go for it.
Yeah, I'm Dan. I was in the smoke last Tuesday. Wizard stuff both here and on Discord. And yeah, I'm here today for the Scraplands.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Dan. And very much like Smoke, you're okay with me calling you Dan?
Yeah, go for it.
Excellent stuff. And then we have a very familiar person. You just can't get rid of him. Brooks. Welcome, Brooks.
Yay! Yeah, there is no getting rid of me. Um, I am constantly around on Discord as Stuart, on the Twitch chat as Brook79. Usually going by Stuart.
Yeah, and you're okay with me sort of
Yeah.
referring to you as that. Awesome. Welcome back, Stuart, again.
Thank
And
you.
it's always good to have you around. Then moving down the list, we go to Primate.
Hi, I go by Primate in the Twitch chat and on the Discord. My name's Andrew. Nice to be here.
Another
Thanks.
familiar name, and welcome, Andrew. And last but not least, a new one to Untold Chronicles on the stream, but not to the games that we play weekends and weekdays. We have. I'm just trying to. I need my glasses. J1 Bennett, come in, Jay. Quick introduction from yourself. Hello, J1 Bennett. Can you hear us? Are you on push to talk? Are you on mute?
The mic has gone. He can hear us, but
Okay, we'll come back to J1 Bennett. I'm pretty certain he wants to be referred to as Josh, as that is his name. But as soon as you get your mic working, we'll let you introduce yourselves as well. So if you can hear us, without further ado, we will go into sort of character generation, and for your purposes and the purposes of the viewers at home, we're going to run through how to generate a character on Fantasy Grounds itself as well. It's a useful primer. It's not as intuitive as you would imagine it to be, but it's very easy once you know what you're doing. So the very first thing to do is, if you look across to your right hand side of your virtual tabletop, you see there's a whole host of buttons. Right at the bottom there is the library button. Click on that and that opens up the library page. Pretty straightforward. At the top there are a number of buttons: GM, Play, Create PC and All. If you want to click on your All button, that will open up all of your buttons on the virtual tabletop on the right. This gives you access to things that you want to do. Once you've done that, the next thing you need to do is download all of the modules, so you can access all of the content your GM has. So at the bottom there is a modules button on the bottom left. Click on that. That opens up the data module activation page. There is all of this content with twisted narrative, So go across and click on that and add all of those modules, the ones that you particularly want, ones that you need, and the other ones if your computer can handle it. Once you have done that, you are ready to start creating your characters. Is everybody with me so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds very positive. Once that is done, we go to actually opening up to create the character by pressing on this PC character button here, which is at the very top of the virtual tabletop right hand side. As you can see at the moment, we've got all of these characters that belong to other campaigns within the Untold Chronicles. What you are looking for though is at the bottom right hand side, there's a little star that is coloured blue. This, when you hover over it, it says open character wizard. Click on this and that will open the character wizard. If you have downloaded all of the modules, you should have access to all of the content. And this is fairly straightforward. You write your name in, and then you choose your race, move across to your stats, class, background. Don't worry too much about inventory, spells and feats for the moment. One of the important things, because again, you don't necessarily notice it, is when you go to stats. If you click the stats button on the top, it opens up select a method for determining ability scores, and you have a drop down menu. At the moment it says standard array, which is the default one, but if you click on that, you can either choose between points by or standard array. Both of those are the two methods that we are using for generation now. So once you've done your race, once you've done your stats, once you've done your class, and once you've done your background, you are more or less good to go. You can load up your save your character first, obviously, and then load up your character, and then we can look at how to drag inventory, spells, and feats across if you need them. I see that we have a character here already that is rapidly done. This shows you how fast it actually is. I believe this is Stuart's character. Are you playing Thrud?
Thud, yeah.
Thud.
Yes, Thud with an exclamation
Yeah,
mark at the
because I
end.
think Thrud was a Games Workshop barbarian back in the day. I'll probably get done for copyright. So Thud. That's old school. That is old gaming. It was a cartoon in the old White Dwarfs. So it shows you really. We've been live for 8 minutes, and Stuart's already generated his character more or less. So once you've all got your characters generated, what we will do next is we'll go through the functionalities of Fantasy Grounds to show you how you can access information and modify various things through the system itself. But if you've got any questions about stuff, please shout up.
I have no questions.
That's okay. You can shout up if you don't have any questions. Okay, so we'll see the characters sort of begin to sort of arrive here in a minute. The way for you, sweet viewers, that we sort of interact with our character sheet, there's a number of ways here. Firstly, and again, people don't necessarily notice this. So when I say, look at the right hand side of your character sheet, they think I mean the right hand side of the virtual tabletop. And what I really mean is these tabs down this side here. And if you look at the right hand side of your character sheet, you see that there's main, skills, abilities, inventories, notes, log, and actions. And all of these show you different pages of your character sheet, these little tabs. And it allows you to cycle through and access various different information. So that's the first important thing. The other important thing is there's two things on your character sheets that allow you to manipulate information. The first is these little brown buttons here, which I kind of call shields because they look like shields. They're brown with a silver dot in the middle. And all these are info buttons, really. If you click on them, they open up the rules for the subject that they're covering. So if you click on that, it's all the rules for Outlander. If you click on this Stout Halfling, all the rules for that. If you go across to skills, all the rules for the skills. So it's a really handy feature, especially saves you looking through your rule books, saves you looking for the information elsewhere. And what is also very useful for you to be able to do is you can hotkey anything with a brown button. So the hotkeys are on the bottom here, and you can grab this button. You see the way the cursor goes from a pointer to a hand. You can grab the button and you can pull it down to your hotkeys, and you can save them to there, so you can access the information from there even if you close down your character sheets.
I also found out an interesting one as well, that it doesn't have to just be a shield for that. You can also put, if you've got a dice, so if you've got initiative, for example,
Yeah,
you can drag that dice down there as well.
right. So your initiative dice can go down there, and it
So I
shows the
can just
initiative
press
roll.
1
Yeah.
and it rolls my initiative.
Wow, you just got a natural 20 that I've blown away. So yeah, so it looks very much like your saving throws can be saved down there as well. That's all very, very cool. And you might start panicking or wondering, well, I've only got 12 options there. That's bad. If you press Control, it's another 12 options. If you press Alt, another 12 options. If you press Shift, another 12 options. If you press Alt, Control, Alt Shift, etc., there are multiple options. If you don't want these down here, you can right click on them. It brings up this radical and you can clear these slots quite easily. Very useful functionality. Very useful functionality. Yeah, we've Rai is saying, do the hotkeys only stay within a campaign? Yeah, it's just within a campaign. This is what you look at is your virtual tabletop, and it stays like that when you go back into it, but only in the campaigns. And because you're playing multiple campaigns, it won't be the same for each campaign. So that's one of the functionalities of your character sheet. The other one is this little looking glass here, which I often refer to as an hourglass, even though it's not an hourglass and quite blatantly a looking glass. I suppose it could be a tennis racket. I might start calling it the racket. That sounds cooler than looking glass. So you press on the racket, and this opens up the way you can manipulate information and the numbers. So for instance, if you took the alert feat and you've got +5 to initiative, or whatever feat fundamentally gives you +5 to your initiative, you can modify it in here, and you can put in different modifiers and change all the information. If for instance you are a barbarian and your speed, or a monk and your speed has increased, again click on the little tennis racket and you can change your speed. And there's these for all of these kind of things here, and certainly when you start going into the nitty gritty of abilities and actions, there's even more for you to choose on. There we go, we've got two more of our characters joining us, which is always good. I love to see this happening and them sort of beaming in from the outside. So as well as that information, the other things that you've got on your main page, you've got your name, you've got your class and level, your proficiency bonus, you've got your background and your race. Your senses will be in here. So if you've got dark vision, it should say dark vision in there. You've got your perception. This is your passive perception, which is 10 plus your wisdom modifier, which is currently 0. So 10 is the correct number there. And then down here you have all of your abilities, and down here you have all of your saves. So if you need to make an ability check rather than a skill check, you can just double click on that, and you can make a check like that. If you need to make a saving throw instead, you can click on that and it makes a save.
I'm worried that these rolls keep getting worse and worse.
They are. It's good. I'm literally draining all of your skills.
Look.
Then if you want to make an initiative roll, it's in the middle here. Same again, just double click on that and boom. There we go, we're going back up again. So pretty straightforward. You can grab the dice, but if you grab the dice and you want to roll the dice, you have to roll it in the chat box, otherwise the system doesn't recognize it. And as Stuart just said, you can grab the dice and hotkey it as well, and you can do it from there if you really want to. Then at the bottom, wounds, max hit points, temporary hit points. Now, wounds, quite often misunderstood. That's how much damage you've taken. So that number, as it gets higher and higher and starts reaching your maximum hit points, is an indication that you are potentially close to death. Temporary hit points would go in here in your temporary TMP box. And then you've got the little racket that allows you to change your hit dice, and you've got death saves here. If you want to spend a hit dice, you can just pick up the dice and roll it in here, and it will automatically heal you when you are taking your short rests. Death saves, this forces you to make a death save by pressing that button, and you can tick these on and off if you need to during the game. They will autofill as well if you succeed or fail death throws through the combat trackers. So that's your main page. I'm assuming everybody has followed that. We quickly move down to our skills page, which is the next tab down. This is really straightforward as well. You have all of your skills down here. The stars indicate whether you are proficient or not. You can manipulate these to make yourself proficient, to make yourself double proficiency bonus, half proficiency bonus, or no. So you can toggle through those to change your abilities where appropriate. This is the stats that they run off. As standard, you can actually change these if need be as well. Miscellaneous modifiers, in case you need them through magical items, enough can be put into these. And then this is your current total. Your current total tends to be based off whether you are proficient and what your skill is. So for instance, we look at athletics, strength, +4. We know that proficiency bonus at level 1 is +2. So we'll assume that the strength should be +2. We can go back to the main, and yeah, strength 14 +2. That is right. So again, like the skills and like the abilities rather, and the saving throws, just double click on that and it allows you to make the rolls there. And as discussed before, clicking on any of the brown buttons tell you all about the skills. Pretty straightforward. Okay, abilities. Again, very straightforward. It's got all of your features, your traits, your proficiencies, and your languages. Again, with these buttons here to tell you what they do. But again, you need to modify your character. This doesn't automatically update the stats. So you need to, for instance, unarmed defense. Whilst you are not wearing any armor, your armor class equals 10, plus your dexterity modifier, plus your constitution modifier. So for instance, that wouldn't be automatic. And I see that Stuart has already gone in and modified that. I'm guessing that's correct. Is that right? Did you go in and change that?
That is a wonderful feature that Fantasy Grounds Unity puts in automatically.
Oh, is
I
it?
didn't set that.
Oh, wow. That's very useful. So it's good. If it didn't, then you would do this in armor base 10. with Dex full plus Con as a second. So it's good to see that Fancy Grounds triggers there, but it's always best just to double check. That will change again if there's a shield or whatever into there. It's important as well to check your languages, because Fancy Grounds has got this amazing feature, which is this chat feature here. It allows you to talk in character, so you can if you type in there and you have chosen a certain language, your character will speak in that language. And there we go. It shows that no one else can speak Giant. The system only picks up the languages you can speak if you've written the languages in this section here. For instance, I wonder what Celestial looks like, and it's this beautiful language. The Fantasy Grounds have gone to some detail to make the font kind of match the languages, which I think is a really neat function. Then we move to inventories. Inventory has all been done here. Items are equipped here. You can add your gold here. How is everybody doing with their inventories? Have people done that? Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I think mine's mostly sorted. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just making sure, because I'm going to quickly speak to the viewers, but it looks like everybody's managed to figure out their inventories, and this is really straightforward as well. If you open up all the buttons on your virtual tabletop on the right, you'll see that there's an items button. You open that items button, we'll try and open it. There we go. Then you have all of these items. There's search buttons at the top. At the moment, there's like 39 pages of items, but you find the item that you want, and then you can just drag it across to the character sheet there. And as I say, I've taken Amber, dropped it onto his character sheet, and the Amber is there. Let's have a look at this. Oh, the Amber, it's worth 100 gold pieces. Look at that. And it tells you all
Run
about
away.
it. The gemstone is a transparent watery gold to rich gold in colour. Very nice. But obviously sometimes mistakes are made, and if you click on the item, you bring up this radical and you can easily delete it. So easy come, easy go.
Oh.
It has gone. It has gone. You were rich, and now not so much. So that is your inventory. You just drag the items across. You might ask, where do I find out as a starting character I get my my items from? It's a very valid question, and not the first time I've been asked. You get it from two sources: from your background, which you can find at the front of your thing here. If you look down here with proficiencies, you have skills that you're proficient in, tools, languages, and then equipment. So a starting character will start off with a staff, hunting trap, a trophy from an animal you killed, set of traveller's clothes, belt pouch containing 10 gold pieces. The second source of equipment comes from your class. So for instance, I mean, we have a barbarian here, so we might as well keep it pure. If you click on barbarian, all the information about barbarian is here, and you have to scroll down. There's a lot of information. How to build a quick build barbarian, and this is where we start getting close to it. Class features, boom, boom, and there we go. Proficiencies, and then we go to equipment, and you get to choose these here. There is this neat link here that allows you to check out weapon lists, so you can see what a simple melee weapon is. And again, you can manipulate the information here. So for instance, it says a great axe or any martial weapon. You can look at these martial weapons here, and you can grab it from here rather than the items across to your character sheet. It just speeds up the process, which is a useful thing to have. How are we all doing? Everybody okay at the moment?
Yes.
Yep.
Wood is happy.
Getting my portrait in.
Okay, you need to do your portrait. It's pretty straightforward. This is again one for our viewers more than anything else. If you open up your character sheet to the main page, and then you hover over the black square where it says portrait.
Yep.
If you click on that, you open up a window and you'll see that there's 3 buttons at the top which says folder, refresh and store. If you click on the folder button, it opens up basically a computer window instead. This is where you drag your image into there,
Oh, okay.
into that computer page.
Yeah, I'm just figuring out where I left him.
Yeah.
Because currently I've got other characters in here.
I mean, obviously, bit of advice is save it to your desktop, and then you just know exactly where it is. You can drag it across. But once you've got it into that folder, you close that folder down by pressing the X, and then you open up your portrait again. You need to press refresh, so it updates your folder, and then hopefully you will be able to find that by clicking the bag.
Just saving into my desktop and I'll go back in.
Yeah, no worries.
I have a feeling that we've all gone for Hero Forge characters for that.
Yeah.
We absolutely.
And I'll mention that once we get the final one up, because again we want to say a massive thank you to Hero Forge that are allowing us. Jam Hands did a tremendous job of communicating with them and allowing us to use their miniature pictures for characters in our games. Obviously, we don't represent Hero Forge, so everything we do isn't representative of them. But we want to do a big shout out to them. If you have any spare time, pop across to their website, see how wonderful it is at designing figures, and if you get a chance, buy a folder so you can either print it or get one from them. I know it's tough out there at the moment in terms of not being able to play face to face, but in many ways it's quite good to have a figure of your character to put next to your computer, like Funko Pops or whatever else. And there will at some point come a day where we will meet around a table again. I don't know where, I don't know when.
One sunny day.
But one sunny day we will meet again. So big shout out, in all seriousness, to Hero Forge. We really appreciate you allowing us to use your wonderful art for our streams. And I'll be doing a shout out every stream that we use them on. Please support them. So it looks like we have our characters now. The only thing that I've not discussed yet, I mean, there's notes where you can sort of well, I mean, that's a spoiler. Notes. He's literally put on the stream real name, beep beep, but we'll never tell one. Wow.
There's a little secret there for the GM that's looking closely.
Yeah, that's very good, and I've spotted it, and for our viewers as well.
For all the viewers, and for anybody else who happens to come back and watch this.
Yes.
I'll add it to the wiki.
Chances are it will probably make it onto the
wiki. 28-point font, just right at the top.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to cut and paste it and stick it into chat now. Okay, but no, that's a great note. You can put your secret notes in there, like Thud has done, or non-secret stuff. Then log is really for Adventurers League stuff, which we don't really do because obviously we're using homebrew rules and everything else. But if you were playing in Adventurers League, obviously this kind of option is brilliant. You can hold your DCI number, what faction you are, which one will presume kind of, Emerald Enclave or Zentarum or Xanathar, etc. Although I don't think Xanathar is one. But we'll ignore that really because it's not what we use. And then again, meat and bones is your actions, because your actions is where you do all your combat and casting of spells and everything else. It seems that Thud is not a spellcaster, but it's kind of set this up very nicely
But
with ranges per
Bush can
day.
barely spell.
Yep. And again, you've got these buttons here for what the weapon does, for going in to change all of the damages and the attacks. There is an ammo here as well. But what is also good and is often overlooked because it doesn't look like you can toggle them is the weapon symbols here. So you can have like a hand axe as a melee weapon. You can have it in effect as a ranged weapon. It wouldn't be very good as a ranged weapon. You can have it if you was going to throw it, or you can have it as a melee weapon. So you can change the way that you want to manipulate your weapons.
I think anything can be turned into a gun if you try hard enough.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
requires
yeah,
a bit of time.
absolutely, absolutely. Um, and then the hand, you can have primary hand, you can have it two hands, you can have it offhand, and you can have it primary hands. So the details, if it's programmed properly, change. So if you're using a versatile weapon, for instance, and the damage supposed to be higher,
Fud,
um,
Fud is very happily using his warhammer with two hands
two
because
hands.
he needs to.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, so it's again really nice functionality, and because of the way that the sheets are designed, you don't necessarily know or notice you can actually do that until you are told. Um, so there we go. I think in record time, in 30 minutes, we have spoken all about the character sheets, which is amazing. Hopefully, everybody in chat um, has followed that, and everybody, one would presume, all our players have followed that as well. So I'm going to quickly talk about two other buttons that we use an awful lot that isn't often I haven't really spoke about too much so far because we haven't had time before we go on to character connections. This won't overly take long, but there are two buttons that are key to sort of players again being able to see and manipulate information. The first one is, well, both of them are hidden behind my glorious face, so you can't see this in chat. But at the top of this area here, as you spiral up, is a very small button with a pair of crossed swords. If you click on that, it opens up the combat tracker. And this is going to be interesting because obviously I'm using this campaign for all characters from all of the Untold Chronicles campaigns. So we have to remove those characters from a previous campaign from the combat tracker. But we can drop all of these characters into combat tracker now, and it allows them to firstly access the information so they can see things like initiatives. Um, I'm not sure. Can you see each other's hit points in Combat Tracker?
Can indeed. Roger looks nice and fragile there.
Yeah,
Oh, cards, man. No, looking
Tell me
absolutely.
about it.
forward to it.
And
He's about
it's
fine.
using Combat Tracker. You can attack and affect the battleground. So this is one of the ways. You can also do it via the battleground maps that we have on as well. But it's useful, and basically you need to know where you are on the combat tracker. So that is a useful one. The other one, which is really useful as well, which again is hidden by my face, is what is called the party sheet, which is right next to the crossed swords. If you click on that, it opens up the party sheet here. Now, I get a great view of this. Players get a limited view of this. And what I fundamentally need to do is drag everybody into this here. And me as a GM, I don't use this function particularly much, but it's absolutely fantastic. I can see all of the stats. I can see who's the strongest, who's the weakest, who's got what modifiers, what their saving throws are, who has dark vision, what their armor classes are. Um, But I can also, if I want to be sneaky, rather than saying, right, actually, I want you all to give me a perception roll, because I come into it, I can force everybody to give me a perception roll. So I can do perception rolls. If they trigger a trap, and I want to say, right, okay, suddenly a mist starts coming around you, I can make them all make a Constitution saving throw. So it's useful if me as the GM wants to surprise the players. I prefer players on the whole to make their own rolls, because it's nice for players to have a degree of agency and a
It,
role in what they want to do.
it's always a pleasant surprise when you're just sitting there and suddenly you notice a lot of dice being rolled in the chat there. You just see the shadows of them going. You have no idea what they're for.
Yeah,
It's good.
absolutely.
Yeah, it is good for a shock though. Like particularly if you can like show it to the players.
Yeah,
Just suddenly you see like a bunch of Constitution saves being rolled. All the players
It's
like,
like,
what?
what is going on?
Oh no!
No, absolutely, and it is a useful functionality. I mean, what I really like is that I can see all the information in front of me, and it is useful as a GM to sort of know what's going on. What is also very useful in this for the players is a couple of things. Is that coins and treasure go here, and it means that the party can check out the treasure as if they're finding it for themselves. They can cast identification on them and sort of reveal what treasures they found. They can sell treasures. So at press of a button, I can do all of the laborious mathematics of how much stuff is worth, turn it into money, and then with this button here, I can distribute it evenly amongst the players, which goes straight onto their character sheets as well. And that is a really useful sort of functionality. Players don't get to see this, but I can award experience for encounters and quests as well. We don't quite use that because we do milestone experience. But it's really useful if you are running sort of experience points campaigns. It takes a lot of the effort out of working out where things are. So great functionality again. So that is more or less it. We have our players, we have our characters. We've discussed how Fancy Grounds sort of works a little bit. All we need to do now is work on some character connections. So, which one of you would like to go first? Don't all shout at once.
Roger, do you want to start us off? I think we already had a bit of a discussion, haven't we?
Yeah. How much would you like to know about Roger?
Right, I'm not looking for character backgrounds and backstories. What we're looking for here is for you to choose just a single other character in the game and tell me and the viewers how you know them. What is your character connection to them? I want to keep backstories and backgrounds to come out in the actual play. Don't feel that you need to hold stuff back if you want to throw it in as part of your connection, obviously. But yeah, which one of these characters do you know best, and what is your connection to them?
Strangely enough, it's Thud that Roger would know best. They happen to work together at a small store owned by, well, someone in town.
Okay.
It's not very exciting, but there it is.
So, is this like on a day-to-day basis that you work there?
It's the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's a begrudging 9 to 5.
Todd doesn't always turn up at 9.
I'm sorry, this is probably not correct, but I'm getting a very Jay and Silent Bob Clark's kind of vibe from this already. It probably isn't, but I'm just like, yeah, we just work in a store. It's not very exciting. Okay, that is good. You've got a very strong connection with Thud, as Thud and yourself work in store. I mean, you can give us a little bit. What kind of store is it?
I was thinking open all hours.
Yeah, I mean,
With the halfling.
yeah, open all hours is very good as well. Yeah, but what kind of store is it?
Well, Roger is a specialist with scrap artifact
Yeah.
and tinkering materials. He was an independent trader in town and just so happened to acquire another job from a larger corporation.
Okay, very nice. So we would say this is kind of maybe a sort of scrapyard type place, a dealership where junk is brought in and you kind of buy it at a lower price and then sort of try and do it up a little bit to sell it on. Is that the
Yeah,
kind of
Right.
trade?
Buy
I'd,
a
I'd
bulk.
say so.
Yeah, you buy bulk scrap and then see what you can make from it.
Yes.
Roger finds the good stuff. Fud moves all the rest.
Okay, so that's a great connection, very strong. You know Thud. So Thud, you obviously know Roger. Tell us a little bit about who else you know, which is one of
Oh,
the other characters.
well, I think that, just kind of from the other two that I'm aware of, I'm thinking potentially um, Bellerophus. Is that how you say that one?
Bellerophus.
Bellerophus. Do apologise.
It's all right.
Fud would always remember a name. Stuart is terrible with them.
So, just for
Um,
my benefit, who is terrible with names, break it down for me. It is Bell, Lair,
Bell, for Ross.
for Ross. Okay, excellent. Yeah, so how do you know Bellerif? I say Bell.
Bellerophus is Bell. Um, he's quite often come in with bits and pieces and looking around the shops. He normally tends to just head off to the bar though, but not seen him quite as much recently. So not sure why he's not been around, but he often comes in, and it's good to see a bit more of an unusual character wandering around.
Yeah.
Fud is often asking for rides.
Okay,
At what point do we
Bellerophus.
mention that Bellerophus is a centaur?
Bellerophus is a centaur. Yes.
well, that somehow seems still not to make it right, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
Um,
doesn't bother Fud.
Bellerophus, but no, it's all right. Thud's a child. It's all right. It's for the kids.
I'm a teenager.
That
uh,
doesn't make it better.
okay, so just let's flesh this out a little bit. So a customer in the store, that's correct, isn't it? Or is it more an acquaintance in a bar?
I'm a scrap miner.
Right. Okay.
So I would mine this, and I live outside the clink. So I would mine the scrap
Yeah.
and bring it to the shop to sell it.
Perfect. So I mean that works perfectly. So you're probably familiar with Roger as well, but you have more
Yeah.
of a connection with Thud.
Yeah.
Wow, this is almost like you've discussed it amongst yourselves. So, how we're pronouncing your name finally, Dan?
So it's Bad Wakatha. You just call him Bad.
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 So it's
Yeah.
sorry, because with the B and the D, sorry, with
It's a
the
bad spelling of bad.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Irish. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, no, because I know sometimes like Maeve is spelt with a B and a
Yeah.
D as well, so I wasn't sure whether it is Bav or Bad.
It can be Bav Cather.
Yeah. So I mean,
If that's easier, you can call me Bav. Yeah.
it's however you want to pronounce it. I wasn't sure whether you were going for sort of Bad B or whether you was going for Bav or Bad.
Bad B. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yes, we move to you. You need to choose one of the characters that you are associated with as well. Sorry, no, it's Bell. How are you associated with Bav?
So the issue is I don't know so much about Bad's character. Sorry, if it was said in the.
So, do you want to
Chat.
describe your character a little bit
Yeah,
first?
can do. essentially, he's just he's a man with two axes who wandered into town one day and started finding the worst people he can to take out of the world. He's an urban bounty hunter. He takes small jobs for the moment, just fulfilling some sort of. It looks like he's got a purpose, but no one's quite sure what it is. He just seems to find the most.
Okay,
The
so
most greed,
I
the most rich.
Okay.
I live outside of the clink, or lived outside the clink. Now I'm in the clink. Maybe at some point I helped you track someone down. He came out my way, or
Yeah, I imagine if there's people out that way looking for scrap with serious intent, I'd be out that way, taking them down.
Mhm.
yeah. So maybe I assisted you with a bounty at one point.
Yeah,
If you have that,
I imagine that.
That
Cool.
works perfectly. And the one of the big things is that bounty hunting within Scraplands is kind of a strange affair, really, in the fact that um, communities might gather together to raise money to hire a bounty hunter to deal with a job. It's very much, I'm sure everybody's familiar with The Witcher, the way that a Witcher would be hired. It's the same with just bounty hunters in the scrap. Everybody is not particularly nice, so the law itself, that it's not really people who are brought in dead and alive. It's more a case of if someone has been wronged, they raise some money and hire a bounty hunter to, in effect, deal with that problem. Um, which is a good way to earn some coin or some scrap.
Yeah, that would be my job.
Yeah, then that's how you make a
Fixer.
living.
Mhm.
So you have a connection with Bell. Do you have a connection with either Thud or Roger?
Probably Thud, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thud.
Just for the fact that he's excitable little fella, and that would probably give me a
Thud,
good
thud,
laugh.
thud.
I'd want to bring him along, give him a little bit of, give him a taste of it in people,
Yeah.
earning that money
Okay. So
like a very, very poor uncle, taking him on the things he shouldn't be doing.
yeah, I think
Best
I
uncle.
mean, looking at perhaps not his background, but the kind of individual he is, he looks like he's relatively handy to have about as well. Maybe a little unruly and untrained, but quite devastating when combat happens.
Mm-hmm.
Thud spent a lot of time working in the
Yeah.
scrapyard, pulling around big lumps of metal, and he's been beaten a bit from when he's kind of fallen on him, and he doesn't mind anymore. He's up for anything.
And
One big callus.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one little callus, he's a
One little
halfling.
callus, yeah.
And quite often anything goes in the Scraplands as well. It is a very lawless place, especially outside of civilization. So there we are in record time. These session zeros are getting faster and faster, which I'm really pleased to say. We have our characters. We have Thud, halfling barbarian. We have Bel Larifos, our centaur artificer. We have Bad or Bav, human cleric. And we have Roger, our human bard. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Scraplands, not a lot of people have played within the setting. It is a meat grinder setting, so it is very dangerous. And there's
So
a
don't
lot.
get too attached to these characters.
No. Well,
Who's got healing?
it depends whether you throw yourself into danger's way or not, and it looks like at least one of you will
Oh no.
probably will do that.
Stuart is
Yeah,
worried.
definitely.
Thud is excited.
Yeah.
Kenny
Uh,
Loggins in the background.
Absolutely. I just want to say, as Stuart said, great work again to Stuart Jamhands for putting this together, and thanks again to
Right.
Hero Forge for the images. Sorry, yeah.
I was just intrigued as to why you mentioned. So either Jamhan's name is Stuart and I missed that, or you're thanking me and I didn't do any of it. So
Right, it's probably me. What do you mean? I thought you did everything. Are you telling me that
oh, I
it's
mean, I'm willing to
other
take
people?
credit for everything, but I think this one is just Jamhan's doing all of the
Yeah,
hard work.
I
Yeah.
thought you had like hundreds of false accounts that you just pretended to be multiple people.
And it is hard work as well, having to badger us to come up with the new images for names and things. It's
Yeah.
very much appreciated.
Absolutely. No, and I mean, it does very much. I mean, they're beautiful. They really, really help set the scene. So, excellent stuff. I think we have done that in record time. So, a big thanks to you all for hanging out. Again, I don't really want to delve too deep into the setting. The Clink is this colony. It's an ex-prison colony, as most of the now civilized places, if you can call that, of Scraplands are, mainly dotted around the coast of the Scraplands, this huge continent, really. The interior is a mixture of a deadly desert and burning sort of outback. It's not very hospitable at all. Much of it is unexplored. Um, there are mysteries out there. There's this scrap that you are digging up is thousands of years old, and it is nothing like anyone in the known world has ever uncovered before. Um, Ancient technologies lost to time. There are the gangs that roam the wastelands to contend with strange mutant monstrosities. Um, there are the strange Warangi that are this sort of nomadic peoples that date back again hundreds, if not thousands of years, that have this special school of magic called the Dreaming. So much to uncover and explore in this wilderness. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this goes. And as we said, it's got meat grinder rules. So yeah, do not get attached to these characters. So without further ado, I just want to say a big thank you again to all you players for volunteering. And in 2 weeks' time, we will be doing episode 1 of Scraplands, starting out in the Clink, and we'll see where that takes us.
And
Thank.
a big thank you to you as well, Andy, for all the organisation putting into this.
It's not a problem. I'm really, really excited. I'm going to open up the PC page again now, because whilst the Scraplands thing is good, we've just added 4 new players. Look at our roster now. And now that I can do maths, I believe we're going to have 34 players, is it? How many players?
So how many sessions have we
32
got?
players. 32 players, 32 characters across the board. That is without NPCs and guest stars. One of the things that we are looking into at the moment is Twitch subscriber perks, and there's been a few things that have been bandied around that people might like to see. So as a subscriber to Twitch, we're potentially going to be opening out some NPC places in some of these games, so you can play basically a directed character for a session or for an encounter. There's quite a few other perks that we're putting together. So if you are a subscriber on Twitch and you've not joined us on our Discord channel at the moment, pop across to our Discord. Make sure your Twitch account is linked to your Discord account, and that way then you can access the Twitch subscribers perks. And by doing that, you can see what we're trying to put together to say a big thank you to everybody that is subscribing on Twitch. we've got a few ideas, including kind of some guides, some spoilers, or rather teasers, etc., etc. I'm not going. Sorry, go on,
I was
Brooks.
just going to say, if anybody would like any help with linking Twitch accounts to Discord, there is a post in the announcements channel that's pinned, or feel free to drop someone a message and we'll help out.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, our Discord community is amazing. Everybody's pulled together. There's a wiki being put together for this at the moment by many people. I just want to say a big thanks to everybody in the community for gathering around and really supporting us in this way. It's a fascinating project. I'm not sure whether it's been done on this kind of level all at the same time before. I have no idea where it's going, but it's going to be really interesting. And again, with all the help that our community has rallied around and done, it's making everything fall in place a lot faster than I could ever imagined. There you go. Pete is working on the wiki whilst listening, so shout out to Pete there. Really appreciate that. So
Pete.
yeah, huge thanks to everybody for throwing in. And as I said, if you're a Twitch subscriber but you're not part of our Discord community, come along, join us on Discord, and make sure you link it, and then you can join into everything else that we're doing as well. So absolutely, it's all about bringing the community together. Right, so I'm going to say a big thank you to the players. I'm going to hang on for about another 30 minutes, so I'm not ending the stream at the moment. But I'm going to say a quick goodbye to the players, and I'm going to change some pictures around so I can talk about the 3 new shows that we're putting together at the moment. So if you're interested in hearing about those and a little bit more information, if you pop into chat and feel free to start asking me some questions. I'll be right back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Bye, Twitch.
Ta-ra.
Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody can still hear me. Just saying a quick goodbye to our players. And I am back. So we've got the stream goes on to midnight. I don't want to shortchange you there. I'm talking about what is coming up soon. We've got 3 projects. Well, we've got a ton of projects, but we've got 3 new projects that are going to fill the spaces of where the other settings were going to be. I need to look at my information there. So I believe we've got a fortnightly space, a regular weekly Thursday space, and a fortnightly Friday space that we were looking to fill. And we've come up with some ideas. Hopefully they're going to work. Like I say, you never know whether these things are going to work or not, but I would much rather throw them out there, try them, and give them a go, than not try. And if they don't work, at least we learn from them. And experience is a good thing. So the first thing that we're going to be doing, which I think is a fortnightly on a Wednesday, is something that we have so far titled Whose Initiative Is It Anyway? And the idea behind this is pretty much like the Untold Chronicles. We have 4 players, and the 4 players don't know what they're going to be doing. So we'll perhaps pre-create some NPCs or some player characters, and we'll vote using the community chat and polls which characters people are going to have, their backgrounds or personalities, what they are doing, what the scene is. If anybody is familiar with the show Whose Line Is It Anyway, it's very much that. So it's a combination of Dungeons and Dragons and improv, really. Still from 10:30 through to midnight. And we might do several different scenes. I don't know how fast the scenes will play out, but it's either going to work and be really, really funny, or it's going to fall flat on its face. But we kind of wanted something for the community as a large to take part in, and by doing the poll chats, polls in chat, it allows you to control the action of the characters in the game. So we'll see how that goes. In my head, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing and really great fun. In practice, it might just not work. It's reliant upon getting some players to take part. It's reliant upon you as the chat community being there and voting in the polls. So yeah, the verdict is out on that one. I hope it will work. I hope it's going to be tremendously fun to watch. So that is one to have a think about. Again, pop across to our Discord. You can sign up there if you're interested in playing in it. You don't have to be a sub to play in that one, but it should be good fun if we can get the right people. I'm reaching out outside of the D&D community as well to see if we can get some improv people involved as well. So it's a hybrid between improvisation, a show, and D&D. There's no reason why it has to be just D&D as well. We can potentially take it out to other sort of game settings. I'm choosing game settings because it's what I know most about. If any of you have had chance to watch our Vampire the Masquerade actual play, I mean that has some funny moments. I loved last Sunday's session where the vampires got stuck in a car park because the barrier wouldn't lift up. Techo says flumps are the best D&D creature. Change your mind. Flumps are indeed amazing, but it depends what you mean by best. I think they are pretty damn awesome, and we had a couple of sessions and some plot lines where wild magic was triggering all of the time, whether you're a wild mage or not. And obviously one of the wild mage roles when wild magic triggers is to summon some flumps, and that was hysterical to see, like flumps everywhere. I think there are some other very cool creatures in D&D as well, but I think flumps are one of those creatures that are definitely up there. the verdict is out really. But certainly when we ran that campaign with wild magic being wild with any kind of spell that you cast, there were flumps absolutely everywhere, and that was very good fun. So whose initiative is it anyway? Fortnightly on Wednesdays, starting very soon. Pop across the Discord, get some more information. The next game, which is the next game, is slightly more tricksy because it takes us outside of Dungeons and Dragons, using a system called 10 Candles. 10 Candles is absolutely an amazing game. It is a narratively driven game, and it is based around horror, really, not horror survival, but just horror. And the concept is that each session we runs into a different session with some different players, whether your character survives or not. So we're looking for quite a large entourage, eclectic group of players for it. So we've got different players each week, and the story carries on where it kind of left off. So, you know, a backpack or a camera might be found from the previous group, and they start uncovering the information that they found, and it kind of moves on. There are so many different horror-based settings for it to be set in. So there is kind of sci-fi horror, I kind of didn't say survival horror, but kind of Walking Dead type of horror, Cloverfield-esque monster horror, all sorts of different ways of doing it. The way the system actually works is you have, in effect, 10 candles, and I'm going to switch scenes a little bit to 10 candles. We need to modify this page a little bit, but as you can see here, we have 10 candles down the bottom here, and we can light the candles. Boom, boom, boom. A big shout out to Finley that created this. And the candles represent... Oops, one candle is still not lit. Why is that? There you go. We have done it. The candle is lit. Basically, the candles represent dice pools. And the first candle represents 10 dice. The second candle represents a dice pool of 9 dice, then 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you take any kind of real action, you roll the pool of 6-sided dice, and if you get a 6 in it, you have succeeded, unless it's an opposed roll of sorts. If you've got a 1 though, those dice are removed from the pool, so you might start off with 10 dice with 10 candles, but slowly the pool of dice grows smaller and smaller. When you fail to roll a 6, that is a failure and the candle is extinguished. And then obviously truths are told, and truths can be positive or negative. It is a narrative driven story, so you can do things that make the story harder for you and everybody else. As long as it makes it more interesting, that is the important thing. And we carry on with the story. People can die in it, and often do, sometimes quite early, until we extinguish the final candle when the game is over. What we are looking for is to sort of change this page a little bit and get people's faces up, so we will be using video and audio at the same time for that stream. Once again, please pop across to our Discord. Player places are open to anybody, but you need to know that it is an adult-based game. There is darker content. and it is all about the narrative as opposed to winning and losing. There's no winning in 10 candles. It's all about the journey. Anybody who is interested, there's a link on Discord as well to the actual game system, so you can check that out via our Discord as well. I'm very excited about it, so much so that I might turn the lights out when I'm running it, and I might even put on the glowing dice behind me for it. Again, it might not fire up, it might not happen. It is very much dependent upon the community rallying round and wanting to play. You know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm very excited about it. It is a super fun game if you like those kind of games. If you are interested, as I say, you can check out the system. But there are people like Geek and Sundry have played 10 Candles, so there's some actual plays out there on the internet. So you can put 10 Candles into Google or into YouTube, and you can find that kind of content really easily. The final game, which will be fortnightly on Fridays, is Battles of Legend. This is again another D&D stream, and fundamentally this is people playing in it. This is one of our subscriber perks, so you need to be a subscriber to actually be playing in it, although it will be streamed, and if you are interested in supporting the stream and want to come along and watch the battle take place, you are most definitely welcome. But if you are a subscriber, you can put yourself forward to playing it, and it's pretty much straightforward D&D, but instead of more encounters, it's a one-shot fight. So you'll be playing a character and you'll be going into battle, and it's how long can you last? Can you stop the forces? And short term, they will be random battles throughout the history of the Untold Chronicles. So there'll be one of the benefits of watching, I guess, is some lore, as in LORE information you'll be able to uncover. Long term, though, we might use it as a way to resolve some bigger battles that are happening within the game world. So that is interesting as well, I think. But it is a sub perk to play. So again, if you are interested in that, pop across to our Discord. Which I say, the community chat on there is great now. We've just put in a manga and anime channel for people that are interested in that stuff, and there's a lot of chat going on there as well, which is great to see. It's most definitely coming alive, and I really appreciate all of the chat that is going on within the Discord channel. So those are the three things, pretty straightforward. We've announced them already. I just wanted to give you a chance to ask me anything. Thanks very much again for throwing that out. That is our Discord channel on there. Give it a click. Come and join us. You can find out more that's going on there as well. I am thinking of other things as we move out of lockdown and we start ordering more sort of product. I'm thinking to do some unboxings of some things you might be interested in, be it collectible cards, be it gaming miniatures, the WizKid ones in particularly. So there's a lot of other things that might be coming up that you might be interested in. Please feel free to shout up in chat if you have got any questions. Tomorrow night is Wednesday night, and I think I just need to double check this because I'm not entirely sure myself. But I think I haven't got anything listed as a stream for tomorrow night, but I will be streaming. I'm just not entirely sure what. And I think the same might be said for Thursday as well. So I need to think of something I'm going to stream tomorrow night. This might well very be the very first Twitch subscriber perk. Let's have a look. So Wednesday and Thursday are my 2 free nights at the moment this week. So I might open it up tomorrow to see what the subs want me to stream tomorrow night. Might be a computer game, might be something else, but that is going to be interesting. That's a thought. That is a thought there. I'm going to make a note of that. Mystery stream. This is until we get the other shows up and running. So you've heard that here first. If you are a subscriber, get across there now and start thinking about it. Although don't cut the stream off at the moment. And then coming up Friday, Stardew's really good. Stardew is amazing. I'm not sure whether people want to see me play it. We didn't have huge amount of people sort of viewing it, but as a game myself, I thought it was brilliant. Really, really nice. So I thought it was nice and relaxing and interesting, and I could kind of see the appeal. I can kind of see how addictive it would be if I really threw myself into it. I'm not that far into it at the moment in Stardew. I'm not sure. I'm too busy growing potatoes at the moment. But again, another thing that we can potentially do, because I know this happens, is subscribers can dictate who I should romance. That kind of thing I'm really open to as well. Fun to explore. Play a horror game. You might need to expand a bit on that, Wild Whiz. But I do love my horror games. I don't know whether I should limit it to let's be Mavericks. Hey, shall we be Mavericks? I'm going to say that Wednesday and Thursday I am going to hand it over to the subscribers, the Twitch subscribers. So go to our Discord. You can do it at any time. It just needs. Oh, you're talking about computer games. It needs to be a computer game that my computer will run, because my computer is not very good. But we will put it across to. We'll put it across to our perk chat. Go across there now on our Discord channel anytime between now and we'll say 5 tomorrow, 6 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll see the suggestions coming in. We'll see what people are voting on, and then maybe we'll come to a decision around about 6 o'clock. So I've got a bit of time to pull it together. I might throw some ideas out there as well to see if anybody's interested in those, and then we will do a mystery stream tomorrow night. We'll do the same on Thursday as well. So if you don't get your choice tomorrow, it might be a continuation of the stream on Wednesday, or it could be something completely different. I can see that because no one is chatting now in chat, everybody must have gone across to Discord. Feel free to discuss it here as well. Yeah, I could run Cthulhu potentially over 2 nights. That sounds good. But yeah, chat in chat. Stop chatting on Discord. Chat in chat first, and then go to Discord later. I haven't got my Discord up at the moment, so I have literally. It's quite scary actually, because it's like Yeah, I've told you to do things and you're doing it, and I don't know what is going on. A suggestion of NetHack has been made. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what is that. Konami, it's good to see you doing your homework. Gold star to Konami. Very good. Boom, boom, boom. You are planning my doom. I'm lung doomed. I'm lung doomed. It's an unmatched constipation aid. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. I have no I have no computer games really. It needs to be a computer game if it is a computer game that you're all trying to do that I can download. If you want to do something crazy and suggest a community game, I know that what's it called? The one where you go around and sort of murder each other. I've never played that. But some of our subs could join me on that as well. I really want to say a big thanks to everybody that is kind of subscribing, and I kind of want to give some of these perks out to people and the like. Obviously, my comfort zone is in running. That's it. Among Us is the thing that we're doing. I have no idea whether my computer would run it. I have no idea how to play it. So you will need to be patient and bear with me in mind. But yeah, I'm more than happy to play community games with people as well and let you all just kind of laugh at my incompetence. Because it might feel like me as the GM, I've got my fingers on the buttons. I'm totally in control of everything, and you'll be turning it back on me with me playing a game that I have no idea what I'm doing in. But that could be fun, for us to do. So I do need a little bit of heads up. I do need to get the stuff, and we also need it to be entertaining. I mean that is the important thing as well. Hopefully, things that other people would like to watch. Send Andy a key for Stanley Parable. Let's see how he likes being dimmed. Yeah. I have no idea what half of these things are, but it sounds exciting, good fun. This is what happens when you finish your characters on time. I start coming up with some crazy suggestions that probably give me sleepless nights, or would give me sleepless nights if I did actually sleep. Ooh, Marmalade, you are indeed legendary. Look at that, 11 months, Marmalade, 11 months. That is just unbelievable. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Orange jam with the sub. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Marmalade is one of our mods and has done much of the artwork here as well. So big love out to you as well, both for the sub, but also supporting us and keeping me going through the last, for a very long time. I've gone a little bit crazy, and because I'm trying to desperately fill in 30 minutes, I've suddenly told people that they can, subscribers can vote with what the next stream is going to be on Wednesday and Thursday night. I have zero regrets. Bring it on. Hey, Marmalade, thank you very much. I need to look. I'm saying that. What I need to do is read what you've said. Marmalade has just dropped a load of new emojis onto Discord, and they are indeed adorable. I will need to check those out in a minute. Thank you very much for those. What we need to do is we need to get our community together, because there's certain ways of unlocking emoji slots. And it's not overly straightforward. I think we need a certain number of people chatting all at the same time over a period of days to unlock some slots. We might need a certain number of viewers all on at the same time to unlock some more slots. There are kind of achievements in Twitch to do that do that kind of thing. And I'm not entirely sure what we need. So if anybody has more experience with Twitch and how to do it, then that would be good. Yeah, Brooks, I don't think it's I don't think it's just a one-off. I think it needs they're very keen on their averages or means or whatever. You got away with balls then, Gerbaus, which is good. Chat, look at this. This is very good. Awesome stuff. No, that's what it is. It's 4 minutes to midnight, and things have gone a bit crazy. I am now incredibly nervous to go and have a look at the Discord. Maybe it's using channel points. It could be. I have no idea. It's all a different language to me. I'm just coming on here, chilling out, and hopefully bringing people together. No, I think I'm not entirely sure what channel points do, because you kind of get them when you do stuff, and then I have no idea what channel points actually do. Wow. That is an amazing number of channel points. That's really useful. You can use them for predictions. Do you want to tell us what predictions are? Because I have no idea what that means. All right. So you can alter emotes. Cheers, jam hands. 200,000 channel points. Mods can type prediction. Wow. So I'm gonna. Oh, I've got stuff. I've got stuff. Start a prediction. I don't know what's going on here, but win channel points if you make the correct prediction. Look at that. Oh, that is good. Ah, look at this. Oh, predictions are going. It's not me. It's Brooks that's done this. I could be really mean because I have control over this. I can just delete it. I could end it. There is a battle going on here. 80-20. This is amazing. Oh, people are with me. Oh, there we go. I still don't know what it means, but that was very kind of you to think it does. That is amazing. I love that. Thank you very much for that. Polls, but prediction. That is amazing. that is a great, great. No, I'm learning. I'm reading and learning. I'm talking, reading and learning. At my age, that is triple multitasking. Not only my age, I'm also a man, and I don't do multitasking. Thank you very much. That was an amazing thing. I do know what they mean now. I just don't know how to do them. Those two things are a different thing, Brooks. Those two are different things. Amazing, Pete. Amazing. Wow. Other use of channel points can be to make things appear on the screen, change elements on the interface. That is really good. That is really useful. I'm beginning to think that. Oh, Jam Hands, you got 560 channel points. That is very good. So have I got unlimited channel points to give them out? You bet against me? How very dare you? Right, I'm ready for that. I am ready. Well, that's you've made some kind of octopusy thing. No, that is super good. Go with Tia. That's very good. You get points by watching and being active. You were literally saying you didn't know what they were. I was saying I didn't know what they were. Then I realised I knew what they were, but I don't know how to do it. So there you go. Right. Well, thank you for letting me babble on. This has been amazing fun. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna check out predictions and stuff. It seems to be a clever thing to do. I'm going to go to my Discord now, Twisted Narrative Discord, and I'm going to see if things are being discussed there about tomorrow night's stream. So if you get chance, please come back tomorrow at 10:30 and see what on earth is going to happen. I'm actually quite scared and excited. Scared and excited. It's going to be amazing. Thank you very much for an amazing stream tonight. It's been really good. If you get a chance, come back tomorrow and see what on earth we are up to. In the meantime, stay safe. Thank you very much for all the subs today, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. Take care. Big loves, everybody. See you laters.